My name is Archita. Today I will be explaining the topic Historical Development of Extension Education. So before starting the topic, can anyone tell me what do you mean by education? So education is the process of bringing about desirable changes in behavior, and the word extension means stretching out. It comes from a Latin word which derived from the word ex and tensio. Ex means out and tensio means stretching. So stretching out from the from the formal educational system to the informal education system, becoming the non-formal education. So before coming to that, how did this idea of extension education came from? So let's discuss how extension education evolved from the informal sharing to a structured and institutionalized system. In the early days, there were no formal educational system for extension education development. So the knowledge was shared through the word of mouth and local leaders and traditional experts. So the educational experts, and they thought that the knowledge should not remain within the universities, it should reach the common people, especially the farmers. So the goal was to connect the educated people, scientists and the agricultural experts with the farmers to improve their living standards and the farming systems. In 1728, the first agricultural society was developed in Scotland, which was the first organized extension system. And the major turning point came in 1845 with the Irish famine. In the Ireland, the major crop was potato, which was destroyed by a fungal disease called potato blight, which was caused by Phytophthora infestans, a fungal agent. So this led to a wide starvation, and to overcome this crisis, the British Viceroy of the Ireland, he wrote a letter to the President of the Royal Agricultural Improvement Society of Ireland, suggesting that appointment of itinerant lecturers or traveling teachers should be done. The Germany term for itinerant lecturers is Wanderlehrer. These lecturers, they visited the rural villages to teach the farmers how to grow alternative nutritious root crops like turnip, carrot, other than potatoes. And this effort became the turning point in the agricultural education, introducing the concept of agricultural extension through education and demonstration. Next, the major milestone came in 1862, in which Morrill Act was implemented. The Morrill Act of 1862 was a landmark in the history of agricultural education in the United States. So the act was proposed by Justin Smith Morrill, a congressman from Vermont. Under this act, certain public lands were granted to establish universities under land grant pattern. And this act was signed into law on 2nd July 1862 by President Abraham Lincoln. And this act made the agricultural education more accessible to the general population and laid the foundation of the institutionalized extension world. In 1867 to 68, the term extension was first came into use. James Stewart of Trinity College of Cambridge University of England, he used the term while addressing the Women's Association and Working Men's Club of North England. James Stewart urged the Cambridge University officials to establish some extension centers as a platform for delivering lectures to the general public on various useful topics. And this initiative became the basis of the university extension movement, aiming to extend university education beyond the campus wall. Then, after the success of the Cambridge University's efforts, the other institution they start similar programs. In 1873, in Cambridge University, the similar program started, and in London University, it started in 1876, and in Oxford University in 1878. These universities they formally incorporated the extension education into their academic programs. The act was signed by President Grover Cleveland on 2nd March 1887, and this act established a federal system of funding for agricultural experiment stations at the land grant university for the sustainability. And the purpose of these stations was to conduct the scientific agricultural research and provide the practical knowledge, practical solutions to the farmers' problems. This act strengthened the research and also the experimental base of extension. In 1890, the second Morrill Act was introduced in 1890, which was not proposed by a single person. It was by the Congress whole committee, and it was the follow-up to the original Morrill Act of 1862. And this act was passed to ensure the continuous financial support and sustainability for the land grant universities. And it provided funding to maintain their universities and to expand their educational programs. Next is Smith-Lever Act, which was proposed by Senator Hawk Smith of Georgia and a Representative A.V. Lever of South Carolina. The act was signed by President Woodrow Wilson on 8 May 1940 and officially created a cooperative extension system in the United States. And the system was jointly operated by the federal government, state government, and also the land grant universities. So let's recap what we have discussed till now. In 1728, the first agricultural society was formed in Scotland. In 1845, Irish famine occurred, due to which, as a solution, itinerant lecturers were appointed. In 1862, Morrill Act was introduced for the establishment of land grant universities. And in 1867 to 68, the first term extension was used by James Stewart. In 1887, Hatch Act was implemented, and experiment stations were attached to the Land Grant University Act. In 1890, Second Morrill Act was given to support give financial support and sustainability to the Land Grant University. In 1914, Smith-Lever Act was implemented, and it provided cooperative extension system.